Hello and welcome to the Compensation and Benefits course. In this chapter, you will learn about the introduction to this course. In this chapter, you will describe the historical evolution of human resource management, explain the roles of human resource management professionals in managing people, explain briefly the human resource functions, explain the goals and objectives of human resource management, as well discuss how strategic human resource management is aligned with business strategy. Let's begin then. We start with the history of manpower planning. Manpower planning was the very first concept used in ancient eras, and as the time went on the trends changed dramatically and the concept of manpower planning changed and turned into personnel management. Today personnel management is known as human resource management. HRM is usually considered the major and significant element of successful organizations. A continuation of the previous slide, the Manpower Department Training Institutes, ILJTM, is ready to train Malaysians to face future job demands. A quote says, "Automation is upon us and there are some traditional jobs that will become redundant and Malaysians will have to cope with new jobs that tend to be more technical or internet-based." So, what is human resource management? Human resource management is the development and implementation of systems in an organization for attracting, developing, and retaining a high-performing workforce. There are also other names we call a human resource manager specialists, or HRM specialists. They can be called as a welfare officer, personnel manager, human resource manager, or a human capital manager. So here is one historical factor that impact HRMs, the Industrial Revolution from the 1850s to the 1920s, where it involves specialization, exploitation of workers, as well as worker alienation. Speaking of the Industrial Revolution, now also known as the First Industrial Revolution, was the transition to new manufacturing processes in Europe and the United States. It was in the period from about 1760 to sometime between 1820 and 1840. There are the first three industrial revolutions that transformed our modern society. With each of these three advancements: the steam engine on the first industrial revolution, the age of science and mass production on the second, and the rise of digital technology on the third, the world around us fundamentally changed due to the existence of the industrial revolutions. The fourth and the current industrial revolution refers to how technologies like artificial intelligence, autonomous vehicles and the Internet of Things are merging with humans' physical lives. Think of voice-activated assistants, facial ID recognition or digital healthcare sensors. The Industrial Revolution impacted the environment. The world saw a major increase in population, which, along with an increase in living standards, led to the depletion of natural resources. The use of chemicals and fuel in factories resulted in increased air and water pollution, as well as an increased use of fossil fuels. The next historical factor that impacted HRMs will be the human relations approach during the 1930s to 1950s. This consists of emphasis on supervisory training, recreation programs, as well welfare programs. Recent developments since the 1950s also contributes to the historical factors that impacts on HRMs, which consists of increased labor legislation, organizations that are getting bigger, increasing workforce diversity, and rapid changes. On the evolution of HRM from personnel to human resource management, in terms of personnel management, a part of the management which is concerned with people at work and it aims to achieve efficiency by fostering their relationships within the organization. It also seeks to provide fair terms and conditions of employment for achieving work targets and organizational productivity. In a nutshell, human resource management or HRM is defined as a set of human management policies and practices that influence employee behavior, attitudes, and performance. New HR department was tasked to find strategies and tactical methods to increase the loyalty and commitment of employees. A continuation of the previous slide, personnel management became scientific and based on previous research of organizational behavior. The HRM concepts have provided a new perspective, to view people as human capital that needs to be developed throughout the organization. Introduction of HRM thus became a significant change for organizations, managers, and employees. So how to differentiate personnel management from human resource management? Personnel management was strictly a staff function. Human resource management became an increasingly line management function, directly interlinked to core business operations. Continuing from the previous slide, the major changes in approach from personnel management to human resource management are the recruitment and skill enhancement of the workforce having a direct bearing on organizational profitability, including efforts that begin to increase worker commitment and loyalty. Human resource functions consists of 6 components: human resource planning, recruitment and selection, performance management, rewards and compensation, training and development, and 6. Human relations, maintaining effective working relationships. So that's all for now for part 1 of this chapter. We hope you understand and we'll see you in part 2 of the chapter.